Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a Silver Stacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 20th day of July, 2022, I'd like to welcome you over to APMEX so we can check out those live spot prices. However, before we do that, I'd like to welcome you to Good Morning to You with Tiny Numismatics. It's going to be awesome. 186. We are at about 90 minutes from now on, starting just this last Monday. So seems like it's going well. I'd like to see you there. I'd like to have you there. Join your family and what is it, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. Now it looks like the gold price is down this morning, $5.50 to 17.1720. Silver is up 2 cents to 19.07, and platinum is up $4.30, 8.9820, and palladium is down $11.20, 18.84 even Steven. Now, great article over here by Numismatic News written by Mike Thorne 17 hours ago. Title of the article is Looking Through Unsearched Rolls of Wheat Cents. Now, on eBay is probably what that should say. Now, it says here, in the mid-1950s, when I was beginning to really be serious about coin collecting, I spent many an evening going through rolls of Lincoln cents with my father that he picked up at the bank or grocery store on his way home from work. And who hasn't done that? Look through a roll of Lincoln cents, yeah? That's one of the greatest pleasure is finding pocket treasure, no doubt about that. These were all Wheaties, of course, and would be until 1959 when the Lincoln Memorial Reverse was introduced, okay? Now, also, the rolls were all unsearched, and they often contained pre-1940 cents. In fact, they sometimes had pre-1930 or even pre-1920 cents in them. And I can tell you that when I was a kid in the 1970s, it was not it wasn't that hard to pick up 1930s coins, okay? And if you want to put that into perspective, that was 40 years later, right? So 1930 to 1970 or 1935 to 1975, you're looking at 40 years later. Well, do we have 40 years later right now in our circulation coins? Absolutely, but we don't think about it in that term. So 40 years ago from now, you're looking at what, 1982, so wow, yeah. So can you pick up 1982 Lincoln cents right now? Getting hard to find, right? Yeah, just like those 1930s were kind of getting hard to find, but you could still find in circulation. Isn't that interesting? It's all about perspective. Now, as you would expect, the older coins were usually more worn than the later coins, but occasionally the rolls contained coins that obviously had not been circulating the whole time after they were minted or first struck. I particularly remember finding an about uncirculated AU 1924S goiter neck, a red book variety at the time, in one of the rolls. My point is that the rolls were great fun to go through because I never knew what would turn up. Absolutely, and that's why we look. Although I haven't looked through cent rolls from the banks in ages, I feel reasonably confident that I wouldn't find much of interest in them. In fact, I suspect that even Wheaties would be even few and far between. I think he needs to look at Rob Finds Treasure to get an answer for that one because I think they are still out there, and it's still fun to get them. I mean, you get a box of Lincoln cents. I think you'd probably get about 2 or 3, maybe 5 Wheaties in there, and they might be in good shape. You never know. So that's kind of a Debbie Downer. I'm not really gonna go further on that one. But what about the many listings for unsearched rolls of wheat cents on eBay? Would these rolls be like the ones I looked through in the 1950s as in the 1950s? Could I expect to find a couple G4 1914Ds? Could you imagine 1922 partial D, 219? Okay, well, that's just a jackpot right there. And rolls of such keepers as 1939D, 1929D, and many others, including all of the semi-key dates. Is maybe a 1926S in there, perhaps, maybe? Now, I found my answers to these questions in a recent thread I came across on CoinTalk. The title alone provided one answer: deceitful eBay sellers wheat pennies. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. The initiator, OP, of this thread was a new member who apologized at the outset for his lengthy introduction. The bottom line on his posting was that he had bought 3 rolls of unsearched, in quotation in parentheses, or in quotation, not parentheses, Wheaties from an eBay seller and figured the seller was making $10 profit on each roll. Who gives, what he's making a profit on? Are you happy? I mean, what's that have to do with it? Are you going through eBay going, okay, this guy's making this. Do you want the item or not? Okay, I bought them knowing they were cunningly advertised and a plan to check a few more out with better documented proof. The 3 rolls I received had nothing but culls. Ouch. So the OP gave a seller a bad review. Right, wrong. I also gave them a positive feedback because they somehow got my personal email address and sent me a request to leave them positive feedback because their sales depend on it. Yeah, they're actually going out of the way to asking, hey, you might help me out here. I know. Yeah, anyway, I responded privately to let them know I wasn't pleased, but also purchased knowing they were going to be duds. Technically, I don't have a claim for buyer's remorse, and everything else about the transaction went well. They could have easily, because they have their private email, said, hey, I'm a little disappointed with these. Could you make it right? Okay, instead of just saying, oh, well, and then throwing your hands up and moving on. The OP concluded by asking if there's anyone else interested in trying to get these dishonest sellers at least reprimanded for the behavior. In the latest post, OP said that he had placed an order for 3 more rolls from an ender seller. This is the type of seller who puts an interesting coin at each end of a roll. Interesting coins being items such as an Indian head cent, a 1909 VDB Lincoln, etc. When he receives the roll, which he is optimistically optimistic about, he plans to make a coin public service announcement video about them. OP's purpose in all this is that he has a burning desire to crush these people. If I lose a few bucks here and there to hopefully bring these suckers down, it'll be worth it. Wow, he's like the enforcer. Isn't that incredible? In response, one CT member wrote, caveat emptor, a $10 lesson for beginning coin collectors. Some people have to take the test more than once to pass. Getting burned. Then it is on to altered coins, counterfeiting, and artificial toning. An old man has many scars. A wise old man treasures his scars. Okay, caveat means buyer beware, or buyer do your homework. I believe that means. It's Latin, and I'm not sure why we have Latin as a language. Yeah. Moving on. Another member railed against the tricky wordplay in the ads based on many years of experience. He cited terms such as original, founded of all, and so forth. These have almost disappeared and been replaced by unsearched. And let's face it, if you have to say it, it probably isn't true. Can you think of any other times where somebody says they have something and it's really not true when yeah, which is where it becomes tricky calling them out. The vast majority of those you reference are either dealers with a huge supply or an individual who buys them by the bag. They are then tubed without searching them and are thus unsearched by the person who put them into the rolls. There you go. So they didn't search them personally, right? So it's a bit of wordplay there. Another member who was critical of the positive feedback scores on eBay. I saw someone who was selling baseball cards and had a 100% feedback from over 350,000 buyers. Is that mathematically possible? Doubt it. He also threw in some criticism of what OP was doing. Buying these coins for whatever reason, knowing they are duds, is just rewarding the crooks who pull this scam and is not going to save anyone else from being burned. I agree with that, because really it's up to eBay and not the OP being the enforcer. A longtime collector noted, with TV, social media, and eBay, there's no way to protect new collectors and investors whose general goal is to strike it rich. That's where a fool and his money, what the rest is, comes in. If they don't have time to do some minimal research, and well, they need to learn the hard way. And let's face it, education never comes cheap. Another writer agreed with all the people who think there aren't really any unsearched rolls being sold on eBay sellers. Furthermore, even if there were truly unsearched rolls, weedy rolls, they would most often contain only common coins with no rarities, because that's how common and rarities work. And I say amen to that, having looked through truly unsearched rolls in the 1950s and usually not finding anything worth keeping. Could you imagine? That was over 70 years ago. It's incredible. As for leaving negative feedback on eBay, another CT member related the following: the last roll I was taken on, the seller refused to refund because I had opened them. Like, how else are you going to look at them? I left negative feedback and it was probably somehow taken down. So what's the verdict? Do unsearched rolls exist? Well, they may exist in some venues, but it's almost certainly not on eBay. Well, I think you can probably find them on eBay. And so let's go here to eBay, and it's going to load here. And there's 1,100 plus results for Lincoln Cent, original bank rep rolls, uncirculated. And like I said, if it says uncirculated, if they have to say it, unsearched rather, if it says unsearched, does it? I don't know. But it's frustrating. I would imagine buying these thinking they're unsearched and then have them be searched. And like the person said who wrote that article, yeah, you know what? They probably were unsearched by the person who is selling them here. And probably that's what they mean. Now, let's keep on keeping on. Now, I want to show you a place where I buy my copper coins. And that's exactly the place here is Copper Coins. And that's Chuck right there. Look, these are the ones I like. Great seller, great reputation. And if you aren't subscribed to Copper Coins, you're wrong. This gentleman sells the most amazing Lincoln cents, and I would hope that you are, if you're into Lincoln cents, you are headed this direction. Now, let's head over to the Mint right now. Speaking of directions, there's a lot going on here, and I think so. Wolverine did a video about this yesterday. The Mint put up a lot more information about the following products coming out in August. So we know that the U.S. Marine Corps medal has dropped just on July 15th. That was 5 days ago, and you probably should have got a notification that it is being shipped. Now, also, the uncirculated coin set from 2022 has met some criticism. There are a lot of coins, a lot of people that have found these to be in particularly not acceptable shape. Now, they are better struck than the mint rolls. However, there are some interesting things going on, because check this out. Now, our friend Mickey Minsky is selling this right here on eBay, and this is an auction for Zoe. Get well soon. Check this out right here. There's 2 Wilma Mankiller quarters in this particular set. And what's interesting is that you are not able to open this particular set without damaging the packaging. So it's definitely tamper evidence. Okay, so that's really interesting. And like I said, Silver Wolverine did a video on the American Eagle 2022 1-ounce silver proof coin. Check that out. I think the mintage is 200,000. The Mint also added the Presidential Silver Medal, the U.S. Air Force 1-ounce silver medal, and that's it for now. Okay, now let's head over here real quick. That's the American Eagle 2022 1-ounce silver proof coin. Look at that. Product limit 200,000, household order limit of 3. Will this be a hot item? I'm not sure. Let's check out eBay real quick before I run out of time. I know it's going fast. So there's only really 4 results for the 2022 S American Silver Eagle. Does that mean there's a whole lot of sales for a coin that's coming out in less than a month? Maybe not. Maybe not. So here it is, +1s for you today, folks, on 95.5 KOIN Radio. Whoa, whoa. Coin News Radio. Whoa. I got to try that again. That was terrible. Here we are, folks, on 95.5 KOIN Coin News Radio. This is We Are the Champions by Queen. Great song. Epic song. And this is the +1. So, and it's truth. Dr. Seuss said it. You have to be odd to be number 1. Absolutely. Dr. Seuss said that. So there it is, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker. Out.